So today we're going to take a look at a play out of the formation shotgun tight doubles on. And the play we're going to look at is called Brown's Curl. Now this is a very unique play that's only in one other playbook, and that's the Miami book called Dolphins Curl. Now the reason we're going to look at it is because we love this formation. You know, it's got plays like wide receiver cross, mesh, it's got double stick, which I really like this year. Halfback slip screen is a great addition to any scheme, and last but not least, we've got the great play bench. Now, I'm sure you've seen these plays in ebooks and on YouTube ad nauseum over the last couple of years. They are great plays. What we're going to do is we're going to show you a play called Brown's Curl to add to an already great formation, and this is the kind of play that's going to allow us to beat any type of coverage. So this time around, we're going to do things just a little bit differently. Now, considering that practice mode is a complete misrepresentation of what works and doesn't work in actual games, I'm just going to use practice mode as a teaching tool. I'm going to show you what routes I'm looking at, why and when, and things of that nature, and then at the end of the video, you're going to watch the gameplay footage to see it all in action, just like you would in practice mode. So let's get started by motioning our drag route by the B receiver all the way over to the left. Now the first read we're going to look at is our Y route. If the cornerback or linebacker covering them is blitzing, this is going to be an easy read to pick up a lot of yards. If it's zone coverage and the zones are backing up immediately at accelerated pace at the snap, we're also going to be able to make a quick read to Y to pick up a decent amount of yards. Our second read versus man or zone is this really nice corner route. Now ideally you want to run corners in a situation like this, probably versus zone coverage. And the reason I say that is because this flat route here is going to pull down a large majority of the zone defenses in the game, leaving our X corner route wide open. Now the third read that we're going to make, if the first two happen to be covered, is this B on a drag. Now the reason I like that he's all the way over to the left side is because usually if he was in closer to Wayne and Avery, by the time we got done making our first two reads, and we look to B, he'd probably be all the way over on the right side of the field. And for me, I like to hit drag routes in the middle of the field because that's going to allow us the most yak. So many times you run drag routes and literally you can split the defense right up the middle of the field. So we look for Y, we look for X. If they're both covered, whether it's man or zone, the B route is going to be a really nice option. So now let's take a look at the running back route. Now if you watched my video on 5 wide receiver Patriot, and the play was called curl flats, we're going to use the exact same concept here. So we're going to put our running back on a flat route. And the reason we're going to do that is because, again, just like I said with this route here, is the flat route is going to pull down a large majority of zone defenses in the game. If we had it on any other route, like say a wheel route or the default route out of this play, the zone coverages would not pull down. So for whatever reason, it's the flat route that's going to pull down the zone coverages. And we're essentially running curl flat because this route here is a curl route. It's just a very unique curl route. And it's also probably the best curl route in the game, at least that I've seen so far. So if we think that it's zone, we must have RB on the flat route. Now, if we're pretty positive before we snap the ball that it's man defense, you know, you're going to be playing your opponent, you're going to get a feel for what they like to call, people are creatures of habit. If they're the type of person that calls man defense, they're going to call that a large majority of the time. There's very few people that do mix up a lot of their play calls. I know top players that literally will just call one type of defense, never switching, always man defense, and things of that nature. So if you run into that, you're always going to want to put RB on a wheel route. Now the reason I like this route is because the linebacker, for whatever reason, no matter what the formation is, never really gets to him in time. So this is going to be a really nice read versus man defense. Now for both routes, I just want you to be a little bit careful out of the backfield. Whether it's a flat route or the wheel route, I like to pass lead up. If you're going to make a decision to throw to the running back, it must be a quick one. Because if you don't, it's either going to get upfield on the wheel route a little too quickly, and then it's going to be a situation where you're going to have to use or catch it, probably in a lot of traffic, which is not wise. That's not a high percentage play. So you want to be able to get it as far away from the sidelines as possible, because the other thing that's going to happen is if you wait too long or don't pass lead up, is that he's just going to run out of bounds. You're going to sometimes even lose yards. You're going to pass to the sideline, and he's just going to get hit. He's going to fumble. He's going to go out of bounds, and it's just going to be a disaster. Now, this route is really the route that I like most about this play. Now, as I showed you in 5 wide receiver Patriot curl flats, we showed that curl routes absolutely kill man coverage. Now, there are a lot of really good corners in the game where when they bump and run, when you try to run the curl route, you then have to decide, oh, am I pass leading left or right to get to more of the open side so you can make the catch versus a bump bump defense in man coverage. Well, the great thing about this curl route is not only is it a curl route that goes out to the sidelines, but tight ends are unbumpable. So unless our opponent is going to manually bump this route, and if he does, then we're just going to hit him in other parts of the field. But if he doesn't, then we've got a really nice concept here with an unbumpable route that's just going to torch whether it's man defense or, again, a large majority of defenses. Now, cover 2 sink, in my opinion, is the best zone defense in the game. I've said that multiple times, and cover 2 sink is a play that's going to stop this route. But then, because cover 2 sink will not pull down on the flat route, that's going to give us an opportunity to hit our running back really quick. So again, keep in mind, if you don't see those zone coverages coming down and you want to go to that side of the field, we want to go pass lead up and hit our running back immediately so we can hurry up and get upfield. So now, let's reset the play. So again, keep in mind, I've been telling you about how everything is going to work. At the end of the video, you're going to watch the gameplay footage and you're going to see what I'm hitting versus man, zone, flat routes, tight end routes, corner routes, drag routes, all of this stuff, okay? So the other thing we want to consider is what side of the field we're on. So let's just switch this up and let's put ourselves to the right side of the field. So if we're on the right side of the field, it's a no-brainer, okay? We've got the flat route, we've got the tight end route, and the corner route is now even more wide open, okay? So we're going to run the same thing as is. But if we end up on the left side of the field, now we've got a couple decisions to make. If we motion our B receiver over to the left side of the field, well, now it's a little more tight for that corner route. Now we can still do it, but it is a little bit more tight. So what we can do is we can either flip the play. I don't know what just happened there. I'm just going to reset the play completely. And then I'm going to flip it. Okay, so we can either flip it and motion this player over here, and then we can have space for the corner route to run on this side of the field. Or, what I like to do even more, there's just lots of different things that we can do. Lots of different motions. We can motion different players, set up different types of scenarios, and I really like motioning this corner route over to this side of the field. This is something you're going to see again in the gameplay footage. So now what we have, and in this scenario, if I'm going to motion X over, whether it's man or zone, I'm always going to put RB on the flat route. Just because there's so much traffic over there anyway, I just don't find the need to put it on a wheel route, but that's just me. You do whatever it is that you want. So, on the left side of the field, we're going to motion X over. Now, our first read, again, is still going to be Y. If they blitz, now the fact that we don't have X receiver over there, so literally we pull the defender away from that side of the field. So if they decide that they're blitzing, I mean, it's over. We're going to hit Y really quick, and we're going to pick up a lot of yards, possibly even a touchdown. Again, if that defender over there on that side of the field, this guy right here, if he backs up, we're also going to be able to hit Avery for a good chunk of yards. So that's read number 1 a lot of the times. And the second read that I'm going to look at is, again, the whole running back tight end combination. The tight end is the play that I focus on the most. It's the route that I focus on the most. I absolutely love it. It gets wide open versus lots of zone defenses. Man defenses cannot cover it for the most part. You know, you have to look. Just like any play, you have to look. But it's an absolute man and zone torture. So we're going to look for Y first. Then we're going to look at our A and RB route combination. Then maybe if we're positive that it's zone, if we see these two linebackers right here backing up right at the snap, maybe we look at Y over here, we could look for our B receiver. Now our B receiver running the drag, again, I love drags versus zone defense. I just do. They just get underneath any zones, and with the way that the agility with a lot of these receivers is this year, I mean, you can get touchdowns literally by splitting the defense and getting yards after the catch on drags. At least that's the success that I've had, especially when you're facing blitz-heavy people. And the final route that we're going to look at is X. And the reason I like this route is because versus zone or man, as you can see, it's a nice, deep, long post route. I love pass leading this route versus man-to-man coverage. You just wait until he's just before he makes his cut, and then you pass lead inside, so in this case to the left, you click on and you make the catch. Otherwise, if it's zone defense with no safety up top, we don't need to. We don't need to pass lead. We're just going to wait for him to run through the zone and be wide open for a touchdown, especially if they're user controlling the safety and getting a little risky by trying to cover our tight end or by trying to cover our running back. So this play literally, I feel, is almost unstoppable. I've been using it with the Colts, and there's a part of the gameplay footage there where I show, you know, Andrew Luck with 10 completions in a row, you know, just kind of for the fun of it. But literally, it's that kind of offense. If you play it smart, whether it's man or zone or they're blitzing or anything, I just feel like there's always somebody that's going to be open. And to add this to plays like bench and things like that, you know, a play like this is more like short routes. See, we've got our Y route, that's short. A route is short. Drag route is short. Flat route is short. The only route that we have going for us in the way of being deep is our X route. So using a scheme of, you know, tight doubles on with a wide receiver cross, using bench, using slip screen and things like that, you can open up the field, especially with bench and wide receiver cross. They're going to have to respect you downfield. So adding this particular play in here, a lot of very short reads, it's just going to be, it's really hard to stop. I've been doing it, and I absolutely love it. So pretty much that's all we have for today, okay? Just went in a little bit of a different direction. There was so much to explain that I didn't want to just show you all this stuff in practice mode, because it doesn't mean anything anyway, because practice mode is terrible this year.
2nd and 8. Looks to his left. On the money. He's got the touchdown. What a good job by the... Snap back to the quarterback. Out of the gun. Brings it in. That's a gain of 7. The defense. 3rd and 2. Working that left side. The Saints now move the chains. It's got some daylight. End zone bound, and he's... 3rd down and 3. The quarterback throws to the right. Fights that hit. And the tackle is made at the 41. From the gun. He's looking to the right here on this throw. Good job by the play call. 2nd down and 10. Looking for an open receiver on the right. No one in sight. Has the hand signals he's given to the receiver outside. Looking to the right side and throwing. Zeroed in on that one. Oh, wow, another couple. From the gun. Eyeing that left side. Saints. Quarterback taking the snap from the shotgun. Trying to work that left side. Saints get a 1st down. In on the stop.
Jim, look at the hand signals he's given to the receiver outside.
Working that left side. Makes the reception. And that's a gain of 9.
Great job.
2nd down and 4. Looking for an open receiver on the right. Secures it with 2 hands.
Well, the only thing
the formation here, Shotgun. The quarterback throws to the right. That catch good for a first down. First down and 10. He'll fire it out to the left. The quarterback throws it on the mark.
When you see defenses
From the gun. The quarterback throws to the right. Colby Fleener hauls it in. The tackle's going out of the gun. Eyeing that left side. Squeezes it into coverage. And he's pushed out of bounds.
he's on the defensive side, so he is changing the play to the receivers by giving him hand signals.
The reception, easy, wide open. Good. Now first and 10. He's looking to the right here on this throw. And he'll step out of bounds. Watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the gun. Eyeing that left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Takes the snap from the shotgun. Challenging the defenders to the right side. Knocked out of bounds. Second down and 1. Challenging the defenders to the right side. Gains 18.
Well, it's another first.
From the gun. Trying to work the middle of the field. Takes off for the end zone.
319.
Looking for an open receiver on the right. It's over 2 yards out.
The play to the receivers by giving him hand signals.
Challenging the defenders to the right side. They bring him to the turf.
This is where it all...
The quarterback throws to the right. And so they convert it here on the 2.